I do not feel like Israel have a right to the land. I do feel as though they do have a right to exist, but they do not have a right to the land. I haven't been able to sleep since it happened. Um, I stay up till 6 in the morning watching different videos. I cried this morning. It's hard.
So Israel is a democracy in the middle of dictatorships and barbarity, and yet all the democracies of the world are viewing us as the ones who are wrong, when we are actually representing the very finest that civilization has produced.
So why are you here today?
I'm here
in support for my people, the Palestinian people. I was born in Palestine. I was born in Jerusalem itself.
Partially to be seen so people know that we're supporting Israel, and partially just to be with people who agree with you makes you feel good, to be with community.
I'm here today because of the occupation of Israel in Palestine.
to show support for the state of Israel. That's really the number one thing.
I feel like I can be a part of a good cause from Israel's apartheid state.
I'm here to make our voices heard, to advocate for Palestinians, because if we don't, nobody will.
I want to support Israel, and I'm a Jew, and this is an opportunity to be with my community and experience together our support of Israel in its time of great need.
I'm here because I believe that resistance is a justified human right. Palestinian people have been under a brutal occupation for the last 75 years, and I'm against U.S. tax dollars funding the Israeli terrorist state. I'm all for decolonization.
I'm here because I'm Jewish and I'm from Israel as well. I have a family there.
I'm here because I don't support genocide.
And when you say you don't support genocide, what do you mean by that?
I mean that I don't support the ethnic cleansing of innocent people. I feel that what we see online, like what the U.S. media is portraying, isn't correct. And when we actually go to the source of people posting what's going on in Palestine, we can see the death toll and realize that what the Israelis are doing to them is wrong.
What's happening and what's been happening for the past 75 years feels like a really long thing, or the same thing that's been happening to the Jews, or the same thing that happened to the Jews during the Holocaust. So it's just like not.
So you compared it to the same thing as the Holocaust?
Yeah.
We want to show support for our brothers and sisters in the land of Israel. This is the land that God gave to all Jewish people. So this is our land. We need to protect ourselves.
A bunch of brainwashed individuals who just don't have no idea what's going on right now in Israel, both in Palestine. And they're just misinformed. They don't understand the terror that Hamas is causing to the Israeli citizens.
I'm a proud Palestinian, and my people are being massacred right now. Black Friday is a day where America makes most of its money, and there will be no business as usual until Palestine is free.
Do you think it is a misunderstanding to categorize this as a religious war?
In the Bible, in the Torah, it's called Palestina. There was nothing called Israel. The only time the name Israel was mentioned as the prophet Israel.
The problem with saying what I'm going to say is that people don't understand. People are not used to really thinking about anything in a really deep way. And so, oh yeah, religion is this and religion is that. Here's the truth.
I think it's a miscategorization that it's a religious war. Previously, Palestinians were people of all faiths, people who were Muslim, people who were Jewish, and people who were Christian.
It was not said the land of Israel. It did not say the country of Israel. In the Bible, it was changed years later, the way they put the land of Israel. Israel does not have a land.
There's a religion in the world that cannot stand that the Jews are in their land. According to, look, I'm not telling you every individual Muslim believes this, But as a group and as a religion, Islam means submission.
In occupied Palestine, there are Christians who every week in their services pray to end the occupation. And I think that simply proves that there are people of all faiths who support the liberation of the Palestinian people.
In the Torah, the people, the Jews, they're supposed to be spread as nations around the world. They are not supposed to have a country. Even there is one sign in their Torah. If they establish a country, that will be the day of their destruction.
That's the literal translation of submission. And they have a belief that any part of the world that they have touched and conquered should always be theirs and no one else's.
This is in their book. Any Jewish you speak to, he knows that.
We are a thorn in the side of their belief. Here we are, the Jews who returned to their land, and we are a thriving society, and we shouldn't be. We should be submissive. We should have been conquered, and we're not. We're independent.
Do you condemn Hamas?
I hate this question because I feel like it gets asked all the time.
I'm not a fan of this question.
I do condemn the actions that they did on October 7th, but that doesn't give the right to Israel to continue bombing as much as they have.
I'm sorry for dodging.
Why not?
Because I think by saying that you condemn Hamas, you're trying to put the situation, you're framing the situation in a way where it puts Hamas in a light that shows them as the villains. I think it gives Israel more ground to stand on to sort of vilify their actions and to support what they're doing. And I think by asking a question like that, it also diminishes the where this whole issue and this conflict arose from.
Do you believe Israel is justified in airstriking Gaza?
Very much so, but I think that Israel is doing the opposite of attacking civilians. It lets civilians know ahead of time that there's going to be a mob so they can move. I don't know any other army that does that.
It's unfortunate, but yes, they have to do it.
I think they're justified in their airstrikes of Gaza, yes.
No, I don't think it's justified. It's obligated.
In airstriking Gaza, I think I would just, rephrase the question, because I think that the popular narrative is that Israel is dropping bombs on Gaza, end of sentence.
Israel actually tells them move, and that Egypt didn't open its border and let them out. That's not Israel's fault. That the Palestinians in Gaza don't have enough food or water is not Israel's fault.
It doesn't mean that they shouldn't be doing more to minimize civilian casualties. I'm somewhat disappointed that they are not doing more, but I don't really understand the situation on the ground. And I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt somewhat. I am.
I think that Israel's perspective is Hamas is no different from ISIS or Al-Qaeda or any other just terrible, terrible organization. And they have to be eliminated.
They should be planting their fields. Hamas should be. And instead of building tunnels and buying war equipment, they're not taking care of their own people. It's amazing.
I'd be lying if I didn't say that it was a struggle. I mean, I have children. Most people here have children, and Palestinians have children, and there's no one I don't know of anyone whose heart doesn't break when they see Palestinian children dying the same way Jewish children are. It's terrible. It's really, really terrible.
Israel is one of the most humane militaries in the world, in that they often drop leaflets to say, we are going to destroy this building. People have been firing rockets from this building. Get out of this building.
They don't even build bomb shelters for their people, even though they know they're going to go into war.
Gaza has to be free of Hamas. It has to be, because Palestinians need to find a way to live in peace, and Jews need to find a way to live in peace, and Hamas won't do that.
If Hamas builds their tunnels and their headquarters, their meeting spaces, their training spaces, whatever it is, arms caches, if they build them under schools and hospitals and mosques, right, what's Israel supposed to do?
To this problem, there are no good solutions, because Hamas runs Gaza and they do not want peace, and somehow they have to go. And it's just an incredibly sad thing if the only way that could happen is by Palestinian children dying.
As long as Israel is targeting Hamas and not Palestinians generally, which is what they're doing, then yeah, they're justified.
I wish there was another way. I really do.
Do you condemn the October 6th attack then, if you don't like the premise of the Hamas question?
I think rising up against your oppressors is justified. I think it should be expected, and that if you are oppressing people, that you should know that this is going to be coming.
Do you believe a two-state solution would be would be able to be viable right now, or do you think that's
I don't know about right now.